Good afternoon out there in football land. It's Sonia Anderson, founder of the Carolina Pantherettes, and welcome to another edition of All Things Football from a lady's perspective. Just want to go ahead and let you know this is not just for Panthers fans, but it's for any fan of the game. So please go ahead and hit subscribe so that you can get announcements when we are live or when we upload videos. Today is Saturday, January 13th, 2018. We've got a lot of news to cover, so let's get started. First of all, we would like to express our condolences to the family of Keith Jackson. Mr. Jackson, at the age of 89, passed on yesterday. He was an iconic announcer for college footballs and formerly of the NFL. Mr. Jackson was known for his key phrase, "Whoa Nelly." You knew it was always a big game when he made announcements. He has received tremendous accolades as well as Sportscaster of the Year awards as his career spanned over 50 years. Truly, our hearts are saddened and we send our prayers and condolences to his family. Let's get into some playoff news. The AFC picture begins tonight at 8 p.m. We're going to go ahead and cover that because, as you know, our Panthers are in the NFC, so we're going to go ahead and save the NFC for last as a courtesy. The scene, Foxborough, the infamous Pats. And guess who they're facing today? The Tennessee Titans. The Pats, the Casa, Foxborough, where most teams come away limping after a ricochet of atomic balls propelled by Brady to all of his favorite receivers, Amendola, Gronkowski, just to name a couple. But what formula will the Pats use today to defeat an ever-thirsty Titan squad? The last playoff run that the Titans enjoyed was January 3rd, 2004. This team is eager to get back to its championship status after several coaching and quarterback changes. Could Mariota and Malarkey beat Brady and Belichick at their own game? The last time these two met up was in 2015. Perhaps a 2-year break could be the solution that the Titans need to overcome the Pats. Some key injuries could be the difference between the win or the loss for either team. Tennessee has listed Cyprien, Davis, Murray, Smith, Walden, all on their IR, but they have not finalized whether or not they will be in the game. As far as New England, they have listed Flowers, Gillespie, Branch, Burkhead, Hogan, Lee, Van Noy, and White on their list. But, again, they have not confirmed. Now let's look at the NFC picture. Falcons versus Eagles in Philadelphia today. The breaking news and most advantageous to the Falcons heading into the northeastern city is possibility of Nick Foles being pulled from playing all 4 quarters of the game in today's matchup. Now, if that happens, the Eagles will play Nate Sudfeld, who will be playing, unbeknownst to anyone, he doesn't have a lot going on, and I think this is the NFL's first visual of Nate. This may prove to be catastrophic to the number 1 seed Eagles' chance at Super Bowl 52. Foles is the Eagles' second quarterback replacement after a season injury in by Carson Wentz. Foles has a .471 passer rating, with this being only his 4th start since Wentz's injury. Meanwhile, the Falcons have remained quite mum this week. Leading into today's matchup, the Falcons, who hope to recover and prove themselves from last year's devastating Super Bowl loss, where they were up 28-3 and were annihilated by the Pats in the second half of the game, where they suffered an epic loss record at that, having solely focused on consistent play throughout all 4 quarters of the game. That's going to be what's going to be the difference maker for them in this year's Super Bowl run. Perhaps most interesting will be the monitoring of Julio Jones, who has been battling injury throughout this entire season. Dan Quinn is infamous for Super Bowl appearances, and he has some jewelry to prove it. Will Super Bowl 52 prove to add to his collection? We will have to see if they can surpass the Eagles in the Battle of the Birds. The big announcement, saving the best for last, my squad, Thomas Davis, his retirement. Davis announced on yesterday that 2018 will be his final season with the NFL. Thomas has had a spectacular football career, with his entire season being spent with our Panthers. Davis, an offensive lineman and part of our what we call the atomic bomb of the duo known by the Panthers fans simply as Assault and Battery, when he teams up with Luke Kuechly, will be greatly missed after this year. Davis is a UGA graduate and alum and had astronomical numbers on the field. And even this year, he's averaged great 15 tackles and he's had numbers such as 164, 1015, 739. He is definitely great with sacks. But let's just focus on what we have now. And we have Davis for one more season. Thomas, we thank you, and we know that your future will be richly blessed as you focus on future endeavors and your family. Thank you for sharing your career with us. Now, the Panthers are in the news again, as now not the concussion protocol of Cam Newton, but they're facing scrutiny about whether the team properly did the protocol with Cam, and now they're saying that Cam has also suffered a knee injury in that epic loss with the Saints last week. Now, the Saints defeated us to go on to advance to their game for tomorrow, and I'll be back on tomorrow to spotlight that. But the Saints will be facing the Vikings tomorrow, Sunday, January 14, 2018. According to ESPN News, Newton suffered a knee injury in that loss and possibly explained why he stumbled off the field after a hard hit by the Saints defensive tackle David Onwetara. The detail was revealed while the NFL interviewed Panthers officials over the phone this week. Newton did have an MRI, but it came back negative. So we'll have to stay tuned for all of that and more. So with that being said, that's going to wrap it up for today's edition of All Things Football from a Lady's Perspective. We greatly appreciate you tuning in on this Saturday, a cold Saturday here in Atlanta. And our NFC South competitors will be playing today and tomorrow. Will they both be in the playoffs next week for the NFC division or not? We'll stay tuned with the post game on that tomorrow, as well as a pregame for the Saints, Vikings, and Steelers, Jags matchup on All Things Football from a Lady's Perspective. Have a blessed day.